For 19 years, a cat named Princesa came to the same bench in Retiro Park, Madrid. Every morning, same bench, same corner, same volunteers bringing the same food. The joggers knew her, the children knew her, the park knew her. One morning she wasn't there. By noon, volunteers were searching. By afternoon, the municipal police were involved. By evening, they found her, in a carrier, at a veterinary clinic across the city, about to be adopted by a British couple who had no idea they had just taken Madrid's most beloved resident. Retiro Park sits in the heart of Madrid. 200 acres of paths and fountains and ancient trees in the middle of one of Europe's busiest cities. Every morning, the park fills. Joggers, dog walkers, families, old men with newspapers, young couples with coffee. And for 19 years, in a shaded corner near one of the quieter paths, Princesa was there, gray and orange, old, unhurried. The kind of animal who has been somewhere long enough that she has become part of it. Not a visitor, not a stray, but a fixture, a presence, something the park would be different without. The volunteers from AGAR, the Association of Friends of the Cats of Retiro, brought her food every morning. They tracked her health. They knew her habits. They knew her bench. They knew that 19 years of park life had made Princesa exactly what she was. Not a pet, not a wild animal, but something in between. Something that belonged to a place the way a place can belong to an animal. One morning, the bench was empty. The volunteers checked the usual spots. The corner by the fountain, the path under the oak trees, the place she sometimes went when it was warm. Nothing. By midday, the search had expanded. Other volunteers were called. The municipal police were contacted. The veterinary services were alerted. A 19-year-old cat does not simply disappear from a park she has lived in for her entire life. Something had happened. The question was what? The call came from a veterinary clinic. A staff member had been checking in a new patient, a gray and orange cat, brought in by a British couple who had found her in the park. She seemed calm, they said, friendly. They had fallen in love with her immediately. They wanted to take her home. The staff member scanned for a microchip, found one, checked the registration, found a colony record, found a name, found a phone number for AGAR, made the call. The volunteers arrived within the hour. The British couple listened as they were told what they had taken. Not a lost cat, not an abandoned cat, but a 19-year-old colony cat with a registered home, a legal status under Spanish law, and a bench in Retiro Park that had been her address since before some of the volunteers were adults. The couple understood immediately. They were not bad people. They had seen an old cat alone in a park and wanted to give her a home. They let her go. Spain passed Law 7/2023. It is specific. It is clear. Registered colony cats cannot be removed from their living environment. They have a legal right to the place they have always been. Not because they are property, because they are residents. Because 19 years in a park means something. Because the bench is not just a bench, it is a home, and home is not something you can put in a carrier and carry away. Princesa's case became a national conversation. El País covered it. The story ran across Europe. AGAR's membership increased by 30% in the weeks after the news broke. 30%. Because people read about an old cat taken from her bench and brought back to it, and something in them said, yes, that's right. That's how it should be. The vet cleared her. Healthy, they said. A little weight lost from the stress. Nothing that time wouldn't fix. They brought her back to Retiro Park, to the shaded corner, to the bench. She sat down. She looked at the park. She looked at the volunteers. She looked at the morning light coming through the trees the way it always did, the way it had come through those trees every morning for 19 years. And she settled in, the way you settle in when you are somewhere you have never really left. The joggers passed. A child stopped and reached out a hand. Princesa blinked, let herself be touched, closed her eyes. The bench was hers again. It had always been hers. 19 years on the same bench. They tried to take her home. She was already there. Catspiracy. They were always exactly where they belonged. We just never paid attention.